What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Kaiza-Sama, and we are back with another episode review of Dragon Ball Daima. Now, if you guys are new here, drop that like and subscribe for your boy, as we are on the road to 500 subs, as we do post figure reviews, gaming showcases, and episode reviews. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, with us being on episode 5 of Dragon Ball Daima, we are, just kind of moving along with the same journey with Goku and Supreme Kai. And we now see that Panzy is joining the group. She is, kind of just catching up to him, letting Goku know that she's grateful for, helping her out. And once they get going, she asks where they're going to. And Goku basically slips up and, being the person that he is, he just answers and says anything. And he slips up and tells her that they're going to King Kadan's castle. And she's like, oh, well, in that case, let me come with you guys. And I feel like that was something that Glorio was kind of like afraid of. So she joins the gang anyways after Glorio says, kind of get lost. And she starts asking all these questions, if Goku has magic. She shows them that she has a little bit of magic. You would think she would have a tad bit more of like magical power to her, but she says that she's more tech savvy. So I'm like, okay, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. And once we get into some more questions, she ends up asking the Glen Shin, the Supreme Key. Oh, I said the Supreme Key, the Supreme Kai. What he's doing down here, basically. And he just says journeying, and she basically comes to figure out, well, something's kind of fishy because, nobody really comes to the third demon realm unless they have business here. And that's when Glorio, kind of turns around, and he doesn't snap on her, but he kind of turns around and he's like, all right, bro, you need to go pester somebody else with all these questions. You know what I mean? Because you could just tell that he was kind of getting a little irritated by the fact that she was just kind of being a little tad bit nosy about their business. And, but, once we get deeper into the episode, you'll see why. So she basically just, says that she just wants to know, but Goku, like I said, being the guy that he is, he ends up just answering any questions. And, they don't really say too much about the whole Dende thing, but, they basically just tell her that they're trying to get to the castle. So on their way there, she shows them that there's a shortcut that they could take. And once they actually take that shortcut, Glorio, of course, he's like dang, you could just tell that Glorio isn't really like too fond of her company, but at the same time, you could tell that she's going to be a tad bit helpful in the future. And they go on to ask what the whole deal is with the Goma and his squad and what they were doing. And with the whole life force thing, she even admits that Deborah was a little bit more of a better demon king. And I guess in that sense, he was a little bit more merciful. He was a little bit more laxed, I guess. And he was more so focused on plans with, the other Majins. So I feel like that's what she really means, but it's not really explained like that. Now, she does end up telling Goku that she's 82 years old in the demon realm, and the average lifespan down there is around 1,000 years. So, with that being said, I wonder if the lifespan is longer the higher you get up into the demon realms. You know what I mean? So, I do find that a tad bit interesting. Now, once they finally do get to King Kadan's castle, Goku, he says that it doesn't look that impressive, but Panzy, she's kind of like, oh, well, it's not that bad, excuse me. And she's just just really, expecting, I guess, like what they'll say once they get up to the gate, because once they get up to the gate, Glorio tells her, you might as well, chill and just hold back because you're gonna get turned away. But little does he know, um, she's actually the princess of the castle. But, we do have this kind of like switch scene where we actually see where Dende is being in this little rocking bed, and it looks like this demon is reading a bedtime story to him. And King Goma tells the demon to read with a little bit more passion because he's a important Namek that they're going to basically be asking questions about the Dragon Balls. And I guess Goma also wants Dende to make him new Dragon Balls. So with that being said, could we see the Dragon Balls being used down in the Demon Realm? It's a tad bit possible. We all know from the last episode, though, that Goku is indeed trying to get to the 3 Dragon Balls within the Demon Realm already. So, I feel like we will see Shenron being used again, whether or not it's in the Demon Realm or back in, Universe 7. We just got to wait and see. Now, once we get to King Kadon's castle, of course, like I was saying, they find out that she's the princess, and Goku, the Supreme Kai, they're kind of like, why didn't you tell us this earlier? Like, you were just acting like you were just this traveler just trying to join us. And Glorio, you could just tell that he's kind of like off put by it because he's just like, what the hell? Like, why didn't this little girl tell us that she was the princess in the first place? And Goku admits that she doesn't look like a princess. She tells Goku to be quiet, and she starts showing him around. And she basically tells him that she's here for King Kadon. And it's pretty cool because once we see King Kadon, he's, in his back room lit playing like a demon golf game, I guess. And he has like this spiked golf club, and he's hitting like these skull golf balls and everything. So we pretty much see him in this one, portrayal, and then we see him in a more relaxed portrayal once he comes out and he starts talking to Goku and the gang. And once he actually comes out there and he asks Glorio if this is the guy that can defeat Majin Buu. Now, this scene right here is basically the confirmation for us to basically figuring out that Glorio is up to something. Because the king is like, didn't you say you would bring me someone powerful enough to defeat Majin Buu? Glorio says that these two are them. So once he says that, King Kadon is like, these little small people, and the Supreme Kai admits that he's just accompanying Goku, but Panzy tells the king that Goku basically saved her life from Goma's army. So once he says that, he says that you have my thanks for that, and Panzy asks the King Kadon if you're the one who asked Goku to be brought here. And then he says, no, Glorio told me that he could fetch someone that could defeat King Goma. So that was the whole gray line that is now being confirmed. King Kadon never specifically asked for Goku. King Kadon has never seen Goku. He never knew Goku was turning into a kid. So this whole time, Glorio was putting on this whole portrayal that like, oh, King Kadon specifically asked for Goku because he knows that Goku can defeat Majin Buu, so he should be able to defeat Goma. That's what we were getting the idea of. But now we're seeing that this king, even though he's a demon, he's, we can basically tell that he's telling the truth. He has no recognition of who Goku is. So like I said, that is the big confirmation. And you also see just in like the Supreme Kai's face as he kind of like looks back a tad bit and he's like, all right, nah, like this fool been lying the whole time. You know what I mean? So it is pretty interesting to see how the Kai reacts to that. And they basically ask why the Supreme Kai and Goku are looking like kids. And The king says once they defeat King Goma, then you can marry my Panzy. And Goku was like, well, I already have kids and I'm married. So they're like, what the heck? So once they find out he has kids, he's married, they got turned into kids by King Goma, that becomes, the big, icebreaker right there. So it's pretty interesting to just see this interaction. And, once they explain that they plan to use the Dragon Balls within the Demon Realm, King Goma is like, what are you talking about? So you're planning on fighting the Tamagamis? And Goku was like, yeah. And it's so cool just seeing Goku in just like this relaxed face as he has all this confidence in like King Goma asking him, so you're planning on fighting the Tamagamis. And Goku's just standing there smiling, just with his big eyes, looking like a little kid. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, like, dude, you're crazy. And, there's the Tamagamis like guarding him. And Goku is like, oh, well, there's only 3 of them, so it should be easy. And Kadon is like, bro, what? So their whole reaction to just Goku being nonchalant about this whole thing is just funny as hell. And you can really get a feel that Goku is like really sure of himself, even though he's in this kid body. And then he turns to the Supreme Kai, confirming that they can get this done. King Kanan, he sits there and he ponders on the fact that Goku probably can get this done since he defeated Majin Buu, even though he's in his kid body. But, Glorio explains that they will need a plane, in exchange for this. But King Kadai wants to see a display of Goku's strengths and his powers. So Goku, he agrees to it and he fights King Kadai's army. And it's just like so chill how we see Goku, interact with Kai beforehand, because Kai tells Goku that these warriors seem like, some well-seasoned warriors. And Goku's like, it's all good, bro. Like, it's all training. And, you can just see in Goku's face that he wasn't worried. He even took off his red pole, his Noyobu. He took it off. And he's like, the king was like, oh, hey, yo, this man cocky than a mug. So, we see the crowd, they're recognizing that Goku is a little bit cocky. Goku hops down there. And when I tell you guys, he starts throwing hands in straight base form, it just gets insane with Goku on this scene right here, because he really does just start going in on this whole little, mini army of King Kanan. And, even though he's in base form, you can just see that he's still exerting just, kind of like that minimum power of just him being in like a training session with like Vegeta and whatnot. And there gets to the scene where, a whole bunch of the demons end up, running up on Goku. They grab his arms, and once they do, this man goes Super Saiyan, bro. So this was the first moment in the show that we've seen Goku take on this Super Saiyan form. And, once we see this, it was kind of like, yeah, we're definitely going to start seeing Super Saiyan in like the near future episodes. And once we see it on display for a few moments, we see that Kai is like, impressed that he's doing it in a small body. And then Glorio, you can tell that he's impressed, because he was able to use this powerful just aura to blast all these demons away from him. And once we see him in Super Saiyan, he does go into this form of kind of like base form, but it has the glow of the Super Saiyan still. And, you can just tell it's one of those moments where he's not really in Super Saiyan, obviously, but he's just exerting some of that Saiyan energy through his base form. Kind of like we've seen him do in, other situations very similar. Was like a situation when he was fighting Beerus in Battle of the Gods. And we saw him kind of like power down from Super Saiyan God, but he could still use Super Saiyan God while he was in Super Saiyan. And that's how he was able to still kind of like compete with Beerus, even though they went up in the sky, went up to space, etc. So I kind of find it very similar to that situation. It's just very simpler. It's, base form and Super Saiyan. Now, we do see that King Kanan is, very impressed by these feats by Goku. He offers them the mid-sized plane that they need, but we could tell that's it's a little dingy. So I don't know how far this plane is really going to get them. The Supreme Kai mentions that their friends are coming. Vegeta, Bulma, Kaibito, and who else is coming? Piccolo, yeah. So he explains that they have some friends coming, but they don't have the pin number, of course. So King Kanan, he tells, what's this guy's name? I think it's like Hybis, or is it Hybis, or I forgot how to pronounce it, but he tells his demon, and he seems very intelligent, but he looks like, Hybis. He looks very kind of like a Pokemon-esque type character, and you can tell that he's kind of like a smartass sometimes, but, he's very intelligent. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He pulls out this device that's very similar to a Dragon Ball monitor, and once he does, we see that, he can basically track different locations within the nearby universe, I guess within the Dragon Realm as well. So King Kanan sends him to basically get Goku's friends. He asks Goku if they could possibly wait, but Goku says if they can just catch up. He tells, we see that Panzy plans on going on the trip with him. King Kanan is very hesitant of it, but Goku tells him that, he'll protect Panzy. We see that Goku and Panzy are starting to get a tad bit closer as, like, good friends, I guess. And once they're about to hop on a plane, Kai tells Goku, hey, Goku, there's something wrong. Basically, like, there's something fishy. There's something off with this man, Glorio, because the king never knew about you. So he's basically asking Goku, like, don't you think that's weird? Like, and Goku, being Goku, he's just like, well, we're on the way to save Dende, like, basically saying, just not nonchalantly, like, putting it off. But Kai, he knows what's up, definitely, so he knows that Glorio is up to something, and it's basically confirmed that Glorio is up to something. What it is, I'm not sure. Something tells me, we're definitely going to see him as kind of like one of those anti-villain, anti-villain or anti-hero characters in the show. But that won't be, much till later on. Now, whether or not he's still going to be with Goku after Vegeta joins up with him, we don't know for sure. You know what I mean? We don't know if Vegeta's going to, like, point something out about Glorio, or if Vegeta is going to be like Kai and he can pick up that something is weird about Glorio. We don't know for sure. But we do see in kind of like an episode cap for like next episode that Goku and Glorio are going to be fighting against each other. So we don't know if that's kind of like a sparring session, or if Goku is finally caught on and, he just wants to fight Glorio for some reason. Or we never really know. Glorio might want to test Goku's power. So that'll just be something to find out with next week's episode. And we do see the last scene of like the actual episode, though, that the ship that they took off in doesn't really get that far. Like I said, because it is kind of like a dingy, older ship. And King Kanan never really has like kept it up, so they do end up crashing. And so my best bet is that they're going to end up walking again, and they're going to have to find some type of transportation soon, because this trip is going to turn into like a long awaited journey that, everybody's been kind of like waiting for. So that'll just be something to look forward to in the future episodes. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on the episode, what your theories are, and whatnot. And without further ado, I will catch you guys in the next episode review. You guys, like I said, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you are staying in tune. And you guys take care. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.